Hey, it's me, Jonathan Donley, with Field One Post, your full-service digital marketing agency. Today, we're going to be talking about websites. It doesn't really matter whether you're starting from scratch or updating an old site. By now you've established it's time to hire a web professional, and that is great. I'm going to help you figure out just what questions to ask and what to look for during the hiring process. But before we start interviewing people, it's important to know what we need, right? So do you need a website built from scratch, or maybe a website for a subscription-based service? Are you trying to update the design on your current homepage? Maybe you need a web designer, maybe you need a web developer, maybe you need both, right? So when you're looking to hire someone for your website, the end game ultimately determines the type of professional or agency that you need to end up with. These tips and questions I'm going to share with you are related to web designers, developers, and agencies, which pretty much covers the whole gamut. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started. As I mentioned previously, my first tip in your quest to hire the ultimate web professional is to figure out just exactly what you want. It's really important to have a clear vision, and having a clear vision makes the whole process easier. Now, I'm not saying that you need to have an extremely detailed outline, but there definitely needs to be some kind of direction. Let me give you an example. So, this individual, his name is Bob, and this is an email he's sending out to somebody because he's looking for a designer or developer. And the email goes like this. Hello, my name is Bob, and I'm looking for someone to build an e-commerce website for my company. I need to be able to sell at least 15 items at once, and I would like customers to have the ability to create an account. And I want to incorporate a blog. So that was easy, right? I mean, it's just a pretty simple email stating what you need. And so now you know what you want, but where do you start? Before you start Googling best web developers in town, tap into your professional network and ask around. You'll be surprised at who you may find. I mean, don't get me wrong, Google's great, but if you have a reputable person already in your professional circle who can do what you need done, why not start by talking to them? I mean, they may be the best place to begin. And at the end of the day, you want a trustworthy, reliable, timely, and talented individual, right? So regardless of where you find your professional person, here are some questions that you probably should consider asking them. It's important to note that one size does not fit all in the world of websites. You want to make sure whoever you hire can actually do what you want them to do. So if you're building a new website, you have to ask if this person can create one for you. If you're updating an old website, can this person work with whatever assets you already have? There are so many tools on the web that allow you to build sites. Tools like Squarespace and Wix. These particular types of sites are easy to use, but they're not the same as something such as WordPress or even a web framework like Ruby, which gives you a much higher level of control. They all require a different skill set, however, and they come at different price points. Everyone is a web designer or developer nowadays, so it's important to make sure they have the skills you need for your website. Do you have a portfolio? I mean, seriously. Don't be afraid to ask for a portfolio. It's an example of their work. It's an example of the work you'll get. And it's also a great way to make sure someone's qualified. If their portfolio and style isn't in line with what you're looking for, it's a good move to move on. Do you specialize in a particular industry? And this question isn't really a deal breaker, but specialization can be very beneficial. For example, if a company has a proven track record for developing high conversion fitness e-commerce sites, and that's what you want is a fitness e-commerce site with a high conversion rate, then I would start with them. Do you build custom sites or use templates? This changes the price point and it changes the skills needed. So if you want a custom site, it's needless to say you should probably hire someone who builds custom sites. A lot of people don't disclose that they use templates, so it's definitely important to ask so you know what you're dealing with. Do I have a say in the design process? Will I be updated as the project progresses? What's the approval process like? These questions all stem from one question, and that is, how involved can I be in the process? You want to find someone who lets you be as involved as you want to be. That may be not involved at all, but it's important to know how much involvement you can have. What's the project timeline? This is important because you can't wait around forever. A timeline will help you understand the process, and it'll give you comfort that things are on track for the final deadline, the final delivery of the site or the redesign. This one, however, is huge. I mean, often we as clients hold up the process when it comes to building websites. It may sound harsh, but it's true. And it's because we don't really have everything that we need to give to the designer or developer so they can start work. And it slows everything down. An example of this would be, photos and videos and logo color codes and logos, login information. I mean, there's a lot of things that a developer needs to get started. So just make sure they have what they need and you're prepared to give them what they need. As of 2020, about half of the global web traffic was delivered through mobile devices. So make sure whoever you pick can create mobile-friendly sites. SEO, search engine optimization. It's really more than just words on a page, and you need to be sure your website has the best SEO practices in its design, and so it's important to ask about SEO. Finally, the pièce de résistance, the question you've all been waiting for. No, it's not. Is 2020 over? The question is, what will my quote include? Design and development services, domain name, web hosting, stock images. I mean, make sure you're very clear with what you're expected to be paying for. Don't be afraid to ask for an itemized quote. So, there's a lot that goes into building, updating, and maintaining a website. And depending on how it's built, there can be a variety of additional charges. But those charges should not be a surprise. Your agency or developer or designer should definitely let you know up front what those charges are going to be. So when your credit card or your accounting department, they come to you and they say, what are these charges for? You shouldn't be surprised. And there you have it. Now, hopefully, this video will help you navigate the world of hiring a professional to build or update your website. If you're watching this video, congratulations, you made it to the end. Wasn't so bad, right? It's also safe to assume that you may be interested in hiring someone to build your website. And so here comes the big marketing tip, right? Field One Post is a full-service digital marketing agency with a specialization in web development. And we love building sites that help people convert to sales. So visit us anytime at fieldonepost.com to schedule a free one-on-one consultation. We'd be happy to help. And if you like this video, let us know in the comments below. If you have more website questions, don't be afraid to ask. Now, we want to keep this channel going with more marketing videos, so be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those notifications by ringing that bell for more marketing videos.